Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Akim and Akwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one is titled, The Pagan Roots of Christmas Are Undeniable. Once again, the pagan roots of Christmas are undeniable. And this is coming at you on December 25th, 2023, all right, during the time of the world known as Christmas, right? Air quotations that you can't see there. So, Christmas, that's what they call it, right? Mass for Christ, all right? And this is the this is the one, man. This is the Christmas, the lesson on Christmas. Yesterday was, the eve of destruction. All right, so that's kind of like I mentioned yesterday. It's kind of a two-parter, almost. All right, I wanted to touch a little bit on it yesterday. All right, and then, hey, today we got the pagan roots of Christmas are undeniable. All right, we do a lesson like this every single year. All right, meanwhile, everyone else's traditions out there is, opening presents and going over the tree. My quote-unquote Christmas celebration is proving that Christmas is a pagan holiday, all right, and that you shouldn't be celebrating the shit, all right. Yep, we said a bad word. Oh no, it's not for you anyway. Go ahead and click off. You're not gonna. You people that get upset, you're not gonna want to hear this anyway. All right, you're not gonna hear this anyway. So, our quote-unquote Christmas tradition, we don't celebrate none of that bullshit, but our tradition is to prove to you that Christmas is a wicked holiday. All right, it has pagan roots. All right, it's idol worship. All right, and you as an Israelite, a so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American, should not be celebrating it. All right, once again, should not be celebrating it. Okay, so that's what we do while you're out there celebrating. All right, celebrating whatever. All right, our little thing is that we make lessons on why you shouldn't. All right, that's a tradition that we hold, right? Every year, all right, every year. At least I make a lesson every single year about it, right on the day, just to piss people off, right? When everybody's celebrating it, I'm bringing out why you shouldn't bring it out, and we talked about it yesterday as well. Jake's still gonna do it. All right, and really, it's not a tradition. I'm just being facetious. If I'm using that word correctly. But it's something that we do every single year, all right? Bring out you should not be doing it. It's not every, meanwhile, you're celebrating these holidays, our tradition that we're doing, it's not really a tradition, but on those holidays, while you're celebrating, we bring out why you shouldn't be celebrating. 4th of July, we make 4th of July lessons. Christmas, we make Christmas lessons. Valentine's Day, we make Valentine's lessons. Easter, we make Easter lessons, all right? Really austere lessons, or eostere, however they pronounce it. Mentioned it yesterday, but that's what we do. While you're doing those traditions, our quote-unquote tradition, again, it's not a tradition, but it's just proving what you're doing is wicked, because all these things, Christmas, what's the next one coming up? New Year's is another thing. What's the next one after New Year's? Is it going to Valentine's? After that, February? I don't think there's anything in January. I think it just goes to Valentine's Day and then Easter. I don't know what's after that. Easter and then like maybe 4th of July. I don't even remember. If it wasn't for work and shit being closed, a lot of the time we'd forget that these holidays even exist because we're not celebrating them. The only way we know is that we either get the day off or shit's closed or something along those lines. So, without any further ado, we don't know how long this one's gonna go. We got quite a few things to touch on. All right, on the pagan roots of Christmas. Okay, so first of all right, I got a video I want to play. All right, I got a couple things here. Some things I haven't really looked through. A couple things I have looked through, and disproving some Christians. And there's so much, man. We can't fit it into one lesson. I'm gonna have to almost do another part to this tomorrow, but it's not really dealing with Christmas. It is in a way. That fucking bug out King David demon, all right, made another video called Repeat, all right, and or whatever he called it, the fat Jabba the Hutt looking bitch, all right, and that's what he is. I hate his ass. The Most High is gonna deal with him very, 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 very severely, and hopefully in the form of a heart attack, because he's eating all that goddamn, pork and all this nasty shit, and he's fucking overweight, and he's already got kidney issues, and the Most High is gonna, the Most High, like Elder Apostle Gabar said, I watched a little bit of his lesson that was touching on it. This guy's already on his fucking way out. This guy is, he's trying to take people with him, because he's already got kidney failure and all these other things. He's trying to take people with him, because he's already on his way out. All right, this King David demon guy. All right, I don't even know his real name. All right, the big old Jabba the Hutt guy. All right, that's it's disgusting, man. He's morbidly obese. All right, and it's nasty, and that's what that's what that'll get you. But that's what we'll probably touch on tomorrow, Lord willing. We're still alive and kicking, and everything's going as it should, making lessons, all that, right? Lord willing, always got to say it. So let's jump right in. No, that's just we got a lot. All right, so let's jump right in. I want to play this video real quick. This is from Raleigh La Yasharallah. Yahushai is coming back 144, I think is his full name on here. So from here, there's a video he posted a couple days ago. I don't know when. Let me see. It was on December 15th. All right, and I remember I had this saved somewhere on one of my devices that I wanted to touch on it, and I forgot about it, but thankfully, call all Yahweh Shem Yahushai, it was brought to my memory, and I want to just play this real quick. From some pagans explaining to you how Christmas is pagan. I mean, who else to explain it better than the pagans, right? It's their holiday. They should be able to explain their pagan holiday to you. But you don't believe it because you want to celebrate it because you're a Christian. I want to celebrate Christmas. It's for Christ. No, it's not. Oh, Christ is inherently would be pagan as well. But here you go. Let's go ahead and play it. Let's turn the music down. We'll leave it at a pause, and we'll go ahead and roll this clip. Here you go.
Awful lot of folks out here who think that Christmas is the original holiday at this time of year, and we kind of gently, I know Frank and I kind of gently nudge our Christian friends and say, just remember, you got all this stuff from us, because we started this. So there are a lot of our traditions are incorporated. This is a very pagan holiday, because it is. Also, the Christmas tree, our Christmas tree, or our Yule tree as we refer to it, is a very pagan holiday, and what you're doing is bringing in the greenery into your house so that you're bringing in life and vitality and all that the evergreens. Awful lot
once again
folks out here who think that Christmas is the original holiday at this time of year, and we kind of gently, I know Frank and I kind of gently nudge our Christian friends and say, just remember, you got all this stuff from us, because we started this. So there are a lot of our traditions are incorporated. This is a very pagan holiday.
This is a very pagan holiday.
Because it is. Also, the Christmas tree, our Christmas tree, or our Yule tree as we refer to it, is a very pagan holiday, and what...
We don't need to read it, or read it. We don't need to hear it again. You got it, but I just wanted her to repeat. It is a very pagan holiday. Once again, it is a very pagan holiday. Okay? So let's see what, let this come from our mouths and people think we're crazy. It's true. It's true. Oops.
Awful lot.
And I think we got Jeremiah 10 and 2. Yeah, we got that. So, you heard it. Let's go and get the scripture. All right. This is Jeremiah 10 and 1 through 5. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Okay, let's go and get a photo real quick. That's not the right one. Israel. 12 tribes of Israel are as such: Judah, the so-called Negroes; Benjamin, the so-called West Indians; Levi, the so-called Haitians. Those three tribes make up the southern kingdom. Okay, these are what you would call so-called black people or Negroes. All right, that's what they would be called. All right, and we say so-called because that's what they call our people. Benjamites get called West Indians or Jamaicans. All right, Levites get called Haitians, and Judah, a lot of time they're just called black. All right, black, or back in the day they used to call them Negroes. all right, or coloreds, or you know the other word that they used to call our people. So Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. This is Southern Kingdom, and I'm saying we, even though I look like a so-called white person, because I believe that I come from the tribe of Judah specifically, even though, you know, through my bloodline, it would appear to be Issachar. Issachar being the so-called Mexicans. All right, so let's go back to Simeon. All right, Simeon, the so-called Dominicans. Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans and Panamanians. Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans. Manasseh, the so-called Cubans. Gad, the so-called North American Indians, the Native Americans as they would be called, right? Reuben, the so-called Seminole Indians. Naphtali, the Argentinians and Chileans. Asher, the so-called Colombians, the Uruguayans. And Issachar, the so-called Mexicans. If you are on this list, all right, there's a good chance, all right, no, not, you know, if you're on this list, if you truly are, if you are one of these so-called things, truly, you would be an Israelite, okay? But you can only go through, you know, do you understand this truth? Do you get this truth? Does this resonate with you? Because you might look like a so-called Negro, you might look like a so-called Cuban, you might look like a so-called Mexican, but you don't go back to any of these tribes. You actually end up going, you know, you're an Edomite, okay? Because it's about bloodline. It's through who your father is, okay? And it goes all the way back, you know, through the seed line of Adam, you know, really. Okay, so, you know, there's no way to really tell, you know, oh, because, you know, you can go and look up your father and your father's father and his father, but you can only go so far back, all right, and you might think, here it is, you know, my father was black and his father was black and his father was black, we're Negroes, we're Judites. No, you're actually a Gadite, and you wouldn't even know. Okay, you were actually a Native American, because those Native Americans got, you know, the Native Americans and the so-called Negroes, they got down. All right, just like the so-called Negroes with the so-called Mexicans. All right, the Judites and the Issacharites. All right, so you got you know, some you might look like a Judite, but you actually might just be an Issacharite. You might look like an Issacharite, but and Gad and Issachar goes hand in hand, man. So a lot of those Gad and Issachar are interchangeable. Okay. You don't know if you're a Native American or a so-called Native American or so-called Mexican, all right? And a lot of them are hand in hand. If you ever go down to, you know, like Arizona, you know, up in like, you know, down by the border, all it is Native Americans, Mexicans intermingling, getting with each other, you know, laying the smack down versus raw, you know, and getting it down and dirty like rabbits, man. So you don't know. Some of those people you'd say as a Gadite are actually just Issacharites, or even so-called Negroes, a Judite, you know, Judites, which they really be. All right, but you know, that's the 12 tribe sign that we want to show. So it's not you can't just look at it and say, okay, a so-called Negro, you're definitely a Judite. Some of these people that look like a Negro, so-called, are actually just Edomites, which are not on here because they're a heathen. Okay, and you might have some dark-skinned people that you say, oh yeah, they're an Israelite. They might just be a Hamite, and Hamites are the so-called Africans. You don't see Africans on here because Africans are Hamites, but in the same note, all right, a lot of West Africans are actually Judites and not Hamites. All right, a lot, because you know that, you know, through the tribes being over there, all right, a lot of the West Africans are Judites. Just like there's a lot of Italians that are actually Judites, because we just touched on it, the Sicilians. All right, the Sicilians, you know, came from the Moors, and the Moors were Judites. All right, were black, as they would be called. Okay, black. All right, well, you know, so-called, you know, Negroes, the Moors, you know, that's what they would be. That's what they'd be called, black people. Okay, and you know, so you see those Sicilian, a lot of Italians. All right, no Irish, no blacks, no dogs used to be a saying. All right, because you know, the same thing with the Sicilians. A lot of the a lot of the Israelites came over, all right, in that land, got their jive on, all right, and a lot of those Irish are actually Jakes, all right, not all right, just like not all Irish are Jakes, not all Italians are Jake, but there's a damn good number. Same thing with West Africans. There's a damn good number of them over there, all right, so keep that in mind. So that's who it's referring to when it says Israel. That's who it's talking to. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Jeremiah 10:1. Verse 2. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen. And if they were not on that list, they are heathens. Okay, the Edomites, the so-called white people. The Ammonites, the so-called Japanese. The Moabites, the so-called Chinese. All right, the Ishmaelites, the so-called Middle Easterners. The Hamites, the so-called Africans. Right? What else? I feel like I'm missing one. Amalek. All right, Amalekites, the so-called, people, the ones that are calling themselves this. All right, the ones that are over there now. All right, being very careful with my words. All right, because you can't speak about them. Who else? You got like the German, Russians and stuff. Magog, all that stuff, right? So, but they're just the same. They're like cousins to Esau. They're still Edomites, right? So I think I named most of them. I might be forgetting some, but not Ephraim. Elam. All right, Elamites. All right, which are the Indians. All right, from India. All right, so those would be heathens. Those would be heathens. The Romans would be Edomites. All right, the Romans are Edomites. So, and we're mentioning Romans specifically for a reason. That is Edomites. Okay. So it says, thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. So if you're on that 12 tribe sign, you should not be learning the traditions and customs and ways of anybody that's not on that sign. Okay? Learning how the Romans did their things, learning how the Greeks did these things. No. Those are not your customs. Learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. Why? Because of course, the heathen don't like anything pertaining unto the Lord. It makes them afraid because they know the Lord's coming back at them angry, not happily, not with an outstretched hand to help them, but very, very angry at them because of what they've done against the nation of Israel. Verse 3, and this is going to sound very familiar for all of these people today. For the customs of the people are vain. Vain means useless, without effect. For one cutteth a tree out of the forest, the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. They deck it with silver and with gold. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not. They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not. They must needs be born, because they cannot go. Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil, neither also is it in them to do good. Now, I was watching a video by Elder Yasher Wamba today. Let's go see if I can find it. It was by Elder Yasher Wamba. It should be in my history. You know what? It's not, because I was watching it on my phone, which I got a different account logged in. Should be right here. Called, Pagan Christians Justifying Christmas. And it's this, I believe it was a video of a video. So it was Elder Yashawamba that made a video of, I think it was Elder Karaktaza, if I'm messing his name up, Salakia, from GMS Vegas Sit Downs 777, and it was a video that Elder Karaktaza, I'm butchering his name, Salakia, and Karaktaza, if I'm Salakia, I'm just gonna stop. I'm only making it worse. Salakia to that elder. So and it was a video that Elder Yashawamba made, that was made off of a video of the, I'm just going to say the Las Vegas elder. And then it was a video of, I'm not sure who made this video. And it was a video of going back to Vocab. All right. Vocab Malone. All right. With his mustache. Okay. I was going to say a word that they would flag. And the word that was going to get flagged is the word flag, but without the L in there. All right, and that's what type of, it doesn't look good, man. It looks like he's got like a 70s, like a gay cop mustache, like it's weird, man. But in this, they're justifying it. They're talking about it. I don't somewhere in here, in Slocky, I don't know where, but one of the guys in this video, either him or Vocab. I don't think it was Vocab. I think it was the other dude, which you're going to have to watch the video if you want his name, because I have no fucking idea who that is. One of Vocab's little buddies, all right? And it's talking about like, oh yeah, well, if you read Jeremiah 10 and 5, they try to use that for Christmas. But if you go down below that, it talks about how they were what the exact words he said, they were, I can't remember the exact words, but he says they were building an idol. Okay, it's not that what they were doing was wrong, it's that they were building an idol. Well, here's the thing. Let's see if he says it.
All of the hair on your horrible. Christian.
Let's see. Let's see.
Was it bad? It's ice. All right. Keep going. He was the rest in custody. You find.
It's not that one. It was the Bug Out Boys talking. I gotta go find them. Where are they at? They're in here somewhere talking.
Mustache, man. It's horrible. You shave off all of the hair on your face, and you keep that one line.
The elder's busting him down on his mustache, which he deserves, because that mustache is an atrocity. Let's see if I can find it. Is it right here?
There and add new information as well if you can, Michael.
Right, so what they're basically trying to say is that
I think this is the one. All right, good. Call all Yahweh Meow Shy for us being able to find that.
it kind of sounds like they're decorating a Christmas tree. Someone cuts down a tree, decorates it with gold and silver. The problem with that is that they just sort of stop right there and they don't keep reading past it, where they basically point out, this is idol crafting. I mean, it's not...
This is idol crafting, and guess what? You know, at the end of the day, we don't really have to read down below that, because you just pointed it out for us. You know, this is idol crafting. Well, they're crafting an idol. So when you do the same thing, you are crafting an idol. Okay? We can go and let's see. Let's see. So, all right. Got it. Cool. Well, here's the thing. You basically already described what was going on, and it already describes what was going on with verses 3 and 4, or 4 and 5. Slakia. You know that it and 3. It's look. The customs of the people are vain, so it's useless. All right. Learn not the way of the heathen. All right, and that's what they're doing. They're crafting an idol. So I don't get what this guy is trying to. I don't know what this guy is trying to get at. You know, saying, oh, if you look down, they're idol crafting. Well, so when you deck a tree with silver and gold, and you fasten it to the floor, and you put the little angel or the star and the tinsel, you are crafting an idol. I don't know what this guy is trying to prove his point, that you have to have the intentions. You have to have the intentions of crafting an idol. That's not how it fucking works, man. That you must have the intention to. It doesn't matter if you have intentions or not. You're going on that intention bullshit now. Your intention, and there are some times where your intentions do matter. But that's like saying, you know, this bug out the King David demon. All right, saying, oh, it's all about intentions. We're doing this for Yahweh Shai. But yes, it's not about what your intentions are. Because you're having a feast and you're trying to throw a different name on what you're really doing. It's not about intentions. If I wanted to go and eat all we're opening Christmas presents under a Christmas tree, but they're not Christmas presents. They're Yahweh Shai presents, and it's Yahweh Shai Day. They did that same, and not that they were doing that. I'm just saying if you were to do something like that, it doesn't make it right, all right? They did that same thing with Thanksgiving, and they called it Yahweh Shai Day. You can't do that. You're still celebrating fucking Thanksgiving, man. It's not about, if you have an intention to do it. If I built and carved out a statue of Jesus Christ, and not because I wanted to worship it, just because I wanted to carve it out, I'd still be making an idol. It doesn't matter if it was my intention to make an idol or not. It doesn't matter if it was my intention to try to purposely obscure the word. If I was to draw a picture of Jesus Christ, all right, with long hair and the blue eyes and all that stuff, holding out a cross, or however they draw him, I would still be guilty of making an idol. Okay? I would still be guilty of making an idol because he is an idol. You can't just draw a picture of Shiva. All right? Now, there's certain things you can use to, for example, all right? But when you're doing something as that, you're creating an image to worship, All right, you're creating an image to worship, regardless if I'm not going to worship it or not. It's still a form of worship by doing that. Okay, so when you say, oh, well, you get the treat, well, why are you doing that then? Just the act of you doing it. Just the act of you doing it is already going off. Okay, you can't just deck a tree and just try to make it something truthful related. You can't call it a Yahushai tree. That's not how it works. But these dumbass bug outs and these bug outs and these weirdo people, they'll say that you can do that. You know, well, it's about who you're doing it for. It's just like you can't eat pork in the name of Yahushai. You can't bless pork in the name of Yahushai. He told you not. You were told not to eat it. And you Jakes don't get it. And especially not you heathens. You're not gonna get it. But you Jakes don't get it. You can't just slap the Lord's name on it and just it's good. You know, that's not how it works. It's not about, oh, well, my intentions are not to celebrate Christmas. It's to, you know, do all the same things as Christmas, but in worship of the Lord. Because if I was doing this in the name of Jesus, it would be bad. But if I do it in the name of Yahushai, it's okay. That's not, no. There's certain things that works for, and there's certain things that does not work for. Okay? There's certain things that have been made wicked that can be retaken, but there's some things that are just inherently wicked. For example, stones and incense, all right, are not inherently wicked. Okay? They're used biblically and have good reasons to use them if used in the power of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushai. But they have been changed into something that's wicked. We were originally using stones and using incense. We were the original ones doing it. But they've been changed into something wicked. You can't take something that was wicked and change it into something good. That's not how it works. All right? You can reclaim something that was tainted, okay? You know, you can get a piece of gold that's been, you know, tarnished, and you can clean it up and make it good again, but you can't, you know, take that piece of gold and make it dirty. Why would you do that? You know? And that's what these people are doing. And Lord willing, I'm explaining that, and I know it's a hard thing to explain, okay? You can take things that were, you know, that were originally good, all right? Incense and certain medicines, herbal medicines, all right? And stones and things like marijuana, all right? And they can be used for good, all right? And yes, I said marijuana, cannabis, weed, all right, can be used for good, but now what do people do with it? They don't use it they don't brew it into tinctures. They don't brew it into topical agents for the skin or lotions or harvest the CBD from it. They don't brew it into teas or something, and I don't even use it at all. All right, but I'm saying if you did it like that way, you know, it would not be wicked. But what do? They smoke it. You can't smoke. You're not allowed to smoke. Okay, that's defying your temple. You're not allowed to smoke. Okay, so they take something that was once good, stones, all right, herbs such as, you know, things like opium, all right, things like cannabis, things like opium, cannabis, all right, and even coca, which cocaine is made from, all right, all has their properties in health. And there's people probably say, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Yes, cocaine originally, before it was turned into cocaine, coca is a medicinal agent, okay, which could be used, you know, with you know, and we not doing it now, but coca, all right, in places like Colombia and other places where, you know, they have that big cocaine trade. To make cocaine, it's a different process than just a leaf. They have to fucking do something to it. I don't know what it is, but they have to do something to it and turn it into. It's just like the same thing with heroin. All right, it's not just opium. They have to do shit to it. All right, but coca over there, they rub it on like the leaves of like babies' teeth and like people with teeth issues because it has a numbing effect. All right, it has a numbing effect, but then they take it, they bust it down, process it, and turn it into cocaine. Now it's wicked, and you snort it up your nose. No, it had an original thing. You could chew on the leaf, rub it in your mouth, and it would help with teeth pain. See, that's something biblical that could have been, you know, that's something that could have been used in biblical times, you know, to help with nerve pain in the mouth. But they turn it into something wicked. It's the same thing with opium. All right, opium was probably used for people that were in great pain. All right, but now people they put it in pharmaceutical medicine, and people are popping perks and popping Vicodins, all right, and that's wicked. But originally it could have been who knows, they could have given it to women in labor, all right, to help them with birthing pains. There's other things that they could have used, all right, but now it's turned into something wicked. Cannabis, it's a very powerful pain reliever. But what do? They put it into a blunt and smoke it, and now what? You know? There you go. Boom. See, they turn all these things into wicked. So you can reclaim things that were taken good. And I'm not saying you should go and get opium and coca, but you know, weed is a different case. Okay, but you can take something that has been defiled and clean it up. You can't take something defiled. You know, who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Not one. You can't clean something that's just inherently unclean. That's not how it works. Okay? If they took something that you had originally, defiled it, like our medicines, our healing stones, our natural incense. There's talk about incense and how to make them throughout the Bible. But they burn these incense to other gods, and now they're wicked. Okay? So you got to realize, and we had to go on a tangent about that, because you can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing. You can wipe away the wickedness, all right, and use it on the right hand side, all right. If something was defiled, these pagans took over stones, and now you can align your chakras and all bullshit. All right, we use these stones to burn to Baal, not stones, but incense to burn to Baal and all this shit. No, that wasn't their original intention. It was for Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai, okay. But that they've taken those things and tried to defile them, okay? But if something was inherently defiled, you cannot make that good. You cannot make that good, okay? You can't just say, oh, well, you know, it's not Christmas anymore, it's Yahweh Shai Day, it's not Thanksgiving, it's Yahweh Shai Day. These things were originally pagan customs. These weren't ever good, okay? They weren't ever anything of Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. They were never related to him at all in any way. They were not one of his holidays, okay? It was what it went back to is Saturnalia, which has always been a Roman thing. It's always been a Roman heathen thing, okay? So you can't just say, oh, it's because they were fashioning an idol and that's what made it wrong. It's not what they were doing, it's that they were doing it as an idol. No, the very fact of you doing that and decking a tree with silver and gold, you are making an idol. You cannot not make it an idol. It is an idol, okay? You can't just have a statue of Jesus Christ in your house and just say you like it for the looks. It's not an idol. It's just for looks. You can't do that. It's inherently an idol. You can't make a clean thing out of an unclean. Who can make a clean thing out of an unclean thing? Not one, as the Bible says. Okay, let's go get it. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Here it is. Job 14:4. Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one. Not one. You cannot make something clean out of something inherently unclean. That's not how it works. You can't purify pork. You can't somehow make Christmas into Yahweh Shai Day. All right, that's wicked. You cannot do that. You can't, and especially, it's more wicked to call it Yahweh Shai Day than just to celebrate Christmas. Because now you're trying to associate the Lord with that defiled bullshit, man. That's what it is. It's disgusting. You're trying to slap the Lord's name on it. Do not do that. That's even more wicked than Christmas. You know, that's more wicked than Christmas, trying to turn it around and make it like it's the Lord's thing. When he hates those things, man. He hates those things. Anyway, that's enough explaining and rambling, but that pisses me off, man. All right, and you cannot make a clean thing out of an unclean. You cannot do it. Okay, so you can't. Oh, it's just because it was wrong because they were fashioning an idol. You can, yeah, whatever you say. Whatever you say, okay? Whatever you say. You're an idiot, all right? And all these Christians are just idiots. They're dumb. They're stupid. They don't understand, all right? That's why we're going to touch on this. All right, pagan Christmas? Nope. Fucking moron, all right? And now you got me all pissed off. Now I'm mad, see? This is the pagan origins of Christmas, Saturnalia, Yule, and other pre-Christian traditions. Let me calm down. I'm going to start fucking up my words. Let me grab a drink and settle down. All right, so the pagan origins of Christmas, Saturnalia, Yule, and other pre-Christian traditions. It says, the origins of Christmas can be traced back to ancient Rome and Norse civilizations. That's where it's traced back to, all right? In fact, the 25th of December was not even Jesus' date of birth. Not Jesus, that's what they say, Jesus. But really, you know, and it goes further than that. You know, this is a false idol, Jesus. But Yahweh Shai, all right, the true living power and son of Yahweh, the Most High, his date of birth was not in December. All right, it was in spring. Okay, it was in spring. So in when he resurrected, all right, and what they call Easter, which is another wicked holiday, it goes back to Auster or whatever they call it. All right, that was around his you know, the Passover was around when he was born. All right, So keep that in mind, the Passover, not Easter, but they celebrate Easter instead of the Passover because Passover is a Jewish thing, and the Christians don't celebrate the Jewish things, even though that's a true biblical. It's a rabbit hole, man. It's a rabbit hole, and these Christians are just weird, man. They take a little bit from everywhere, a little bit from Judaism, a little bit from true Hebrew customs, very very little, if any. All right, they take a lot of bit from paganism. All right, a little bit from over here. It's weird. It says that once again, December 25th was not even. We're gonna say Yahushai because that's who actually exists. All right, December was not even Yahushai's date of birth. Okay, and so what are they celebrating then? Interesting. The early Christians appropriated. What does it mean to appropriate?
Appropriate.
To take something for one's own use. Take something for one's own use, to take it, to steal it, all right? What was originally a pagan holiday because it was convenient. Before that, the people of ancient Europe had celebrations of the pagan god Saturn or even Odin at the end of December to mark the shortest day of the year. Indeed, many of Christmas traditions we have today come from these ancient festivals. Example of these include kissing under the mistletoe and decorating trees. What are the pagan origins of Christmas? The origins of Christmas are complex and intertwined with various cultural and religious traditions, including some pagan elements. While Christmas is primarily celebrated as a Christian holiday commemorating the birth of Jesus Christ, it coincides with the winter solstice and incorporates elements from pre-Christian traditions. The winter solstice, because Christian is, a Christian is one who worships Christ. All right, and the word for Christ would actually be, in the real word in Hebrew is Hamashiach. All right, and these traditions, a lot of these traditions took place before Yahushai was born. All right, the true, not Jesus, but the actual name of the Savior, Yahushai. A lot of these were already in place before Yahushai was born. Okay, so keep that in mind. It says, and Christians were only formed, as followers of Christ, but that's the, and it was the term Christian was actually used mockingly. Okay. But, that's why we don't call ourselves Christians, all right? First, multitude of reasons. That's a topic for another day, okay? We follow Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but we don't call ourselves Christian. Some people in the world would, well, do you believe in a Savior? Yes. Do you believe in the Son of God? Yes. Do you follow after Him and His Father? Yes. You're a Christian. No, we're not. No, we're not. But that's a whole nother lesson to explain that. It says the winter solstice for the northern hemisphere takes place on the 22nd December, the day where the Earth's axis is tilted farthest away from the sun. It is the shortest day of the year and is meant to mark the beginning of winter in the northern hemisphere. It says, but it is also a time of hope because the days begin lengthening again as the spring is coming. Ancient civilizations around the world thought this was worthy of great celebration. When the early Christians linked these winter solstice celebrations to Christmas, it made the birth of Jesus that much more auspicious. All right, it says a lot of people in the modern world may not even know that the winter celebration actually has nothing to do with scriptures and religion. They may even be surprised to learn that Christmas traditions like decorating with holly, putting up Christmas trees, and kissing under mistletoe are rooted in ancient fertility rituals to false gods, right? These are all symbolic acts to celebrate fertility of the earth and the approach of the sowing season. Who were the pagans? Before throwing the word pagan around, we must first discuss what it means. Who were the pagans exactly? Paganism is originally a word used by early Christians to refer to polytheistic Romans. What it essentially means is non-Christian. What pagan really means anything that let's say what this really is. Pagan is anything that's not relating to Yahweh Shem Yahushai and his customs. That would be pagan, right? It could apply just as well to Norse people in Scandinavia or to the ancient Celts in the British Isles because they were worshiping multiple, Celtic gods and Scandinavian Norse gods, right? And the Romans, of course, and the Greeks, because they had the Roman and Greek gods. It says, as the Christian missionaries began to roam around Western Europe, the larger world, they used the term pagan to refer to anyone who did not share their beliefs on religion. True. It says their multiple gods were classified within the single category of pagan gods. A pagan god is any god that is not Yahweh Shem Yahushai, that is not the Father, all right, and the Son, all right. It's a pagan god. Okay, it's a pagan god. Okay, and not that the Son and Father are one being. They're separate. The Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit are all separate entities. All right, but pagan god is anyone, that's not. All right, that's not Yahweh. All right, and so, because God, they say God, All right, that's referring to Yahweh, who they would just say God, but his real name is Yahweh. Okay, so if it's not Yahweh, it would be a pagan god. You know, Allah, Buddha, all these different gods, these idols. All right, those are pagan gods or idols, as you would, right? So we don't need to continue to keep on going on. All right, that's who the pagans are. I'm gonna skip down. The Romans and the Saturnalia festival. The people of ancient Rome, and the Romans were Edomites, all right, and still are. So it says, celebrated the winter solstice with the festival of Saturnalia. Saturnalia. So you'll see it says it was meant as a way to celebrate and give thanks to the Roman god of agriculture, you know, farming and all that stuff. Saturn, idol, false god, pagan god. By the time the winter solstice came out, the last planting season had been completed. Thus, the ancient Romans could then happily engage in an entire week of festivities. The Saturnalia festival was usually celebrated between the 17th of December and the 24th of December. Even now, Christmas is not really a celebration of one day. It is called Christmas season, and festivities start well in advance of the 25th of December. It's true. You know, you got Christmas Eve, and then, you know, the holiday, they call it the holidays. The holidays is a whole celebration itself. The holidays. Right? In the Saturnalia festival, 25th December was considered the climax and had a special name. Brumalia. 25th, or Christmas, had a special name back then called Brumalia. Okay? During Saturnalia and Brumalia, all social hierarchies were overturned. The people, including the Roman slaves, indulged in widespread merrymaking. The slaves could often take part in public celebrations and not work on the last day of the festival. Public gambling was a big event, and everyone was allowed to wear colorful clothes. The Phrygian cap, worn by freed Roman slaves, was a symbol of the freedom of the season. Many of modern Christmas traditions originated in the ancient Roman Empire. Let's see what this is. Huh. Would you look at that? Would you look at that? What is that? The Phrygian cap? Wow. That looks like a Santa hat to me. That looks like a Santa hat, does it not? Interesting. There's one. All right, there's one. All right. So what else? It says however, so when you put that on your head, you're literally saying that you're a slave. Fucking idiot. All right, so however, there may have been a darker side to the Saturnalia festival. All right, and really, they said that they let the slaves, and we did a lesson on it last year, and we basically touched on that a little bit, and they weren't as free as everyone thought they were. All right, it says, however, there might have been a darker side of the Saturnalia festival. An innocent Roman citizen would be elected as the Lord of Misrule for a period of 30 days for the festival. This was a temporary king of sorts who would preside over the wild partying and drunken antics during the celebration. There's also a lot of fornication going on during that whole celebration. A lot of men with men, women with women, men getting with little children, pedophilia, right, and a lot of sexual debauchery. That was kind of the whole thing of the festival. It says, on the last day, the Lord, this Lord of Misrule will be sacrificed to Saturn on the altar. This marked the end of the anarchy and return to social conventions. There is no conclusive evidence for this, although folklorists like James Fraser and Michael Bakhtin have theorized about it. The Romans had another festival around this time, Dies Natalis, Solis Invicta. All right, Solis Invictus that goes back to the sun. Yeah, see, there it goes. It says, if you look at Solis Invicti, all right, and you'll see another thing. Sol Invictus, it goes back to Sol Invictus as a sun god. All right, if you look at the crown, all right, look at that. What does that look like? Looks like Lady Liberty, right? The Statue of Liberty, as they call it. This goes deep, man. This goes deep. It all goes back to Roman shit. It says this was dedicated to the Iranian sun god Mithra in pre-Zoroastrian Iran. Zoroastrian Iran, Mithra was the god of the sun. It goes back to Sol Invictus. It says justice and war. He was heavily associated with the Roman sun god Sol Emperor Aurelian. Declared that 25th of December was the birthday of the unconquerable sun and was a festival mostly celebrated by upper-class male Romans. Okay, there you go. What is also interesting is the one of the epitaphs of Jesus in the Son of Justice is the Son of Justice. All right, so what was Yule? All right, what was Yule? You know, it talks about this. Well, you know, we don't, you know, there's a lot to get on. All right, and we're So, you know, you got, what else would do? What celebrating the winter solstice? What would happen? Many of the Christmas traditions that we celebrate today descended from pagan traditions. Exchanging gifts, decorating houses and trees, door-to-door carolers, the use of holly and mistletoe, Yule log, all right, burning a Christmas fire, chestnuts roasting on an open fire, right? An open fire, everybody burns their little, their log in their fireplace. Why? Because it's a fucking Yule log, man. All right. It says, what else do we got? Lighting candles on evergreen trees. Now you just light them up, right? You know, no, and now it's just the lights, Christmas lights. All right. What else do we got? Small metal ornaments on trees outside their home during Saturnalia. All right. Each ornament had some type of association with a god or a family's patron saint. All right. Let's see. In his poem, Marriage of Peleus and Thetis spoke of gods declaring the home of Peleus with evergreen trees like laurel and cypress. Evergreen trees and wreaths and garlands made of them were significant in Egyptian, Hebrews, and Chinese. They represented eternal life. All right. What else you got? Decorating trees with fruits and candles in honor of Odin. All right, and Yggdrasil, the Viking, right? So look, man, gift giving, caroling. All right, gift giving was commonplace during the festivals. All right, what else? They used to give each other small gifts. Wishing each other good luck. Christmas carols have ancient roots. All right, it says the tradition is probably Anglo-Saxon. It said they used to call it wassailing. It came from the phrase wassail, meaning good health. All right, these singers would row around the village in small groups, serenading their neighbors and wishing away evil spirits and good health. What else? Wassailers also carried around a traditional drink with them made from mulled ale, roasted apples, spice, eggs, sugar, and curdled cream. Sounds like a very Christmassy drink, does it not? And you can still drink like eggnog and stuff. That's not wicked. It's just a drink. All right. So that's different. All right, it's just a drink. You can't make any mixture of spice. Well, you can make a mixture of spices evil, but you know, if you drink eggnog, that doesn't make you wicked. If you drink, you know, spiced cider, it doesn't make you wicked. It's a drink, you know. But if you're drinking it, you know, because you know, oh, I'm worshiping, you know, these gods, and this must, yeah, that's you know, that's off. You know, the significance of holly and mistletoe, Santa Claus is, look, man, look, so. All these different things, and we don't have time to go through them all, but man, look, you know, look, 6 Christmas tradition are actually pagan, and we probably got all of them. Gift giving, the image of Santa Claus, Christmas stockings, Christmas caroling, decking the halls with holly, and decorating trees. Is pagan Christmas? Is Christmas pagan? Nope. And this is from Catholic Answers. Okay, here we go. We're gonna answer this real quick. A person that maintains Christmas' pagan roots has to ask himself the following questions. All right, what do I have to ask myself? Because it is pagan. What do we have to ask? After centuries of the church being persecuted for not observing pagan holidays, where's the proof of influence? Where's the proof of influence? I don't know, in the fucking books where it talks about literally all these Roman holidays being the exact same. That's the proof of influence. When it says that the Romans literally did the same exact things, that's the proof of influence. Okay? It's proof of influence that these things are the same thing and they just slap the name Christ or Jesus upon them. Or Christmas. It's not Saturnalia, it's Christmas. When it goes back to the very same days, with the very same traditions, with the very same hats, and the very same people, and the very same things of decking trees with silver and golds and bringing them into your house, and Christmas caroling. That's the proof of influence. Where else would you get those from? Well, it's okay. Well, here's your second question. Who influenced whom? Did Christianity influence the pagans to begin to adopt a more public and concrete celebration? No, they didn't. No, because this wasn't a thing in Christianity. All right, and Christianity originated from a bastardized version of a couple things, you know, within the Bible. All right, and I say bastardized because you take them out of context. All right, the Father's name is Yahweh and the Son's name is Yahushai. You don't use those. You use God and Jesus Christ. All right, but you do believe in certain things, but you change them up to your way. You change them up to your way. All right, that Mary was a virgin and she never had sex, which is incorrect. All right, that's not how this works. All right, and it's been proved before through Scripture that wasn't the case. All right, she did have sex and she did give birth. All right, but you know, that's why I say bastardize. What does it mean if you bastardize something? Let's see.
Bastardize.
All right, change something in such a way as to lower its quality or value by adding new elements. Adulterate, to corrupt, to contaminate. All right, it's your contaminated, corrupt version of what you think the Bible is, but you don't understand the Bible. It's your bastardized form, your corrupted form of you don't. Here it is. The Bible is something for the Hebrews, all right, the true Hebrews, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and you've taken it and made it something of an idol worship, and you've just made something completely disgusting out of a couple scriptures, a couple, because you don't use 99% of the Bible. You use about a couple of them. All right, you use Exodus and Genesis. All right, to an extent. All right, and then you don't touch on anything about the heathens being hated, about the Lord only loving the Israelites. You don't talk about the nations being destroyed and him hating the Edomites. You don't talk about the Edomites. You don't talk about how he hates these traditions and that he won't smell during these holidays. He's not with it. You don't talk about that that you shouldn't do with heathen customs. You don't talk about any of these things. You only use a couple things. And that's what Christianity, it's loosely based around a couple things in the Bible that you have completely taken out of context. So who influenced whom? I don't know. Let's look it up in a minute. It says, or did Christians Christianize a pagan event? There you go. Ding, 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 ding. Christians Christianized a pagan event. It wasn't that the Christians influenced the Romans, because you can go and look it up. It says, we can observe historically that there are two celebrations present at the time, but neither scenario is a problem for the Christian because the church has the ability to Christianize people and celebrations alike. Okay, well, why don't you you've Christianized homosexuality. Let's Christianize drug use. How about that? How about Christian heroin? And it's not bad to use drugs anymore because it's Christian heroin. How about that, right? How about Christian murder? How about Christian Satan worship? How about that, right? How about Christian standing in a star in a pentagram and summoning demons? Christian, it's Christian though. It's Christian, guys. Calm down. It's Christian. It's Christian. Make it Christian. How about we Christianize stabbing someone in the neck until they bleed out and die? How about we Christianize that? How about we Christianize stealing? We'll steal, but we won't call it stealing. We'll call it Christ giving. That's what we'll do. We'll call it Christ giving, and it's not stealing anymore. Now it's Christian, and you can do it. You can do it now. What about yeah? So you can't. No, you can't just fucking Christianize things. That's not how it works. Light overcame darkness. No. You don't understand it. You don't understand it. All right? You don't understand. Paganism had a hint, but Christianity had the film. Which one came first? Which one? I don't know. Let's see. When was Christmas first celebrated? It said the celebration of Christmas started in Rome around 336. Okay. Gotcha. But it did not become a major Christian festival until the 9th century. What year was that? 9th century was, let's see, 801 AD to 900 AD, but this was going around during 336 AD. What about Saturnalia? Huh, look at that. The pagan celebration of Saturn, the Roman god of agriculture at the time, began as a single day, but by the late Republic, it had extended to a week-long festival. So it had earlier roots, but by the end of the late Republic, it was a full week-long festival. When was the end of that late Republic? 133 to 31 BC. Huh. Interesting. So, before Christmas, by a long time, by a long shot, okay? When was the first Saturnalia? It doesn't say, but it started as a celebration for the Saturn, all right, as a single day, but then it became a multiple day thing by the end of the late Republic, which was in 133 to 31 BC. So that's when it became to full effect. All right, so it was going on a long time before that. But Christmas was really only around since like 336 AD. I don't know if you know this, but BC was before AD. So yeah. What's your fucking question here, you idiot, you fucking moron? These are the Christians, man. Sean McAfee, he did it on the 18th of this year. This fucking idiot. We just proved it. It wasn't that hard. Which one came first? Who influenced whom? I don't know. Being that I don't know, Saturnalia was being celebrated before Christmas was a thing. I don't know. Maybe fucking Saturnalia was the one that came first. Idiot, you fucking moron. And this is what you get. This is who you get your scriptural advice from, you idiots. He doesn't even understand that. He can't even understand. He didn't even go back into history and get that. We did it in a matter of minutes. And this guy couldn't even tell you which one came first. Which one came first? Fucking moron. What a dumbass. This dumbass. And he has the ability to post on Christian and Catholic answers. And you Catholics get your answers from this fucking idiot. You stupid ass. You morons, man. You fucking morons. A lot of you people are dumb. All right. And that's why you're going to continue on celebrating Christmas, because you're fucking dumb. You don't even understand that it's not even biblical. It doesn't even go back to something that's truly biblical. You fucking idiots. You dumbasses. God damn, you're morons, man. You got pagans telling you it's pagan. You got history telling you it's pagan. The Christians, no, it's not. It's for God. It's for Jesus Christ. You fucking idiots. You morons. God damn. Fucking idiots, man. You stupid as shit. Pisses me off how dumb you are. God damn. And you think you couldn't be any stupider than that. And these are the people you listen to. You listen to. We're always, no, us over the Hebrew Israelites, we're always wrong. Oh, you're preaching hate. Oh, the Bible doesn't talk about that. These people can't even give you a basic fucking example of which one came first, you fucking idiots. And you're getting all your advice from them? You're gonna let them tell you what's right and wrong? They don't even understand what the fuck they're talking about. What a bunch of idiots. Anyway, let's get to scriptures to prove these guys are stupid. All right, this is Proverbs 3:31. It says, "Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways." Who oppresses us? Esau. Who is Esau? The Romans. All right, and you're choosing his ways, Jake. All right, you dumbasses. You're choosing his ways by what? Celebrating his custom. It's Roman. All right, sun god Saturn. Okay, that's not our custom. All right, that's not our custom. Our custom is worshiping Yahweh Shemiao Shai, not Saturn, not Odin, not a god of fertility or Mother Earth or all this bullshit. Okay, you idiots. People are just stupid, man. They're just really stupid. You people are just really dumb. Okay, and you don't even understand the most basic of things. Okay? They're undeniable. The pagan roots of Christmas are undeniable. Fucking look it up, man. Look up look up the Saturnalia. And Saturnalia came before Christmas. Look up the customs. Why does it just so happen to be that all the fucking shit going down in Christmas is the exact same as Saturnalia? I don't know. Maybe it's because Christmas was a rebranded Saturnalia. Okay, and you can't just rebrand something and make it okay. Okay, you can't just slap the Lord's name on it and make it okay. That's not how it works. But with the Christians, they can do that. They can just slap the name Jesus Christ on something and all of a sudden it's okay. That's why homosexuality is all of a sudden is okay. God loves everybody. All right, everything's okay because they can just slap their name of their false idol. All right, their false god, their pagan god, Jesus Christ. They can just slap it on something and everything's okay. That's not how it works over here. All right, we call that shit out, and we point it out for what it is. It's wicked. You can't bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing. All right, and that's what these people are trying to do. Ah, jeez, man. You guys are really dumb. All right, give me a minute. I'm going to grab a drink. There we go. So Psalms 96 and 5. Okay, so when you're worshiping the name of Sol Invictus or Saturn or Jesus Christ, that isn't the name of the Lord. Psalms 96 and 5, for all the gods of the nations, all right, all the nations, if you're not an Israelite, you know, the heathens, you know, the Edomites, all right, the Romans, right, the Greeks, right, the Elamites, all right, the Ishmaelites, the Moabites, the Ammonites, the Hamites, right, and all their gods, what? They're idols, they don't exist, they didn't do anything. They didn't deliver us from Egypt. They didn't make the heavens, as it says here. They didn't do anything for us because they don't fucking exist. All right, Jesus Christ does not exist. Jesus Christ exists Jesus Christ exists just as much as SpongeBob SquarePants exists. Okay, that is true. All right, because they don't exist. They're not a thing. He's not a thing. He never existed. Jesus Christ was formulated upon a depiction of Caesar Borgia, all right, Caesar Borgia, all right, or Borgia as some pronounced, all right, Borgia, the Borgia family, all right, he was a son of a pope, all right, and he implemented his face as the face of Christ, all right, and he was a murderer, all right, and more than likely, possibly a homosexual, okay, and more than likely, all right, because all those guys are weird into that stuff. All right, and I can't remember if I heard anything about that, but he more than likely was. All these Edomites are. All right, and you can look up Caesar Borgia and see that that's who we're talking about. Okay? This is who you call Jesus Christ. Look familiar? Look familiar? You know? Because that's who it was, and he was the son of the Pope, and that's how you got that image of Christ, all right, of Jesus. All right, it was based off of Caesar Borgia, all right, the Borgia family, which more than likely, you know, as it's been a what's the word I'm looking for? A thought, all right, from Elder Apostle Gabar, and I do believe I'm with him on this. All right, the Rothschilds probably more than likely descend from the Borgia family. All right, that Borgia family. Okay. And so you're worshiping those. Those are idols, all right? They didn't do anything. What did Caesar Borgia do for you? Nothing. He didn't deliver you from nothing. Nothing. He didn't do anything. He didn't create anything. Psalms 96 and 5. For all the gods of the nation are idols, all right? Idols. But the Lord, all right, Yahweh, made the heavens. Okay? So you're worshiping someone that never did anything. Okay? Jesus Christ never did not one thing. All right? He didn't even do so much as create one blade of grass. All right? He didn't create not one blade of grass. That was all Yahweh. Okay? So, and here you are, you're worshiping an idol that has never done shit and will never do shit. All right? They cannot deliver you. They cannot save you. They cannot. Exodus 20 and 2 through 5. I am the Lord thy power. All right? This is Yahweh. Okay? Which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. Slaki, I'm talking so much, my mouth is just dry as hell. And that's why you have, we talked about that before with reincarnation. All right, these people, they don't understand reincarnation. What does this mean, visiting the iniquity of the fathers? What does that mean? I thought it said the son should not bear the iniquity of the father. Yes, that's true. My father, if he goes and smokes a cigarette, I will not pay for that. Okay, that you will not pay for that. But your father's father, whoever down the line who passed away, 70 to 100 years ago, was you. So if you were a wicked ass fuck back then, all right, and guess what? That was you. So that's why we got to repent for our current lives and our past lives. Okay, we don't know what type of people we were in our past lives. Probably very terrible. We were very terrible in this life until we came into the truth by blessing of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, we were very terrible then. So before, who knows? We were probably awful people, more than likely awful people. Okay? It's Colossians 2 and 8. We got this yesterday. All right, so this is, look, Colossians 2 and 8. Beware lest any man spoil you through philosophy and vain deceit, after the tradition of men, after the rudiments of the world, and not after Hamashiach. These things are of the world. All right, these are traditions of men. We touched on this yesterday. These aren't things that are pertaining to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Okay, they're worshiping sun gods. That has nothing to do with Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. All right, that would make the Lord very, very angry, and it does make the Lord very, very angry. It has nothing to do. I will not smell. Let's get it. This is Amos 5 and 21. It says, so Amos 5 and 21, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. Though ye offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beasts. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. All right? But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. The Lord's not dealing with your little stupid little celebration. He's not there. He's not with you on it. Okay, that's worldly stuff. That is worldly stuff. James 4 and 4, we're hammering these out because, we pretty much touched on it. Now we're just getting the scriptures to prove it, to back up the point. James 4 and 4, ye adulterers and adulterers. I got it backwards. Ye adulterers and adulteresses. Know ye not that the friendship of the world is enmity with the Most High? Enmity, opposition to, all right? If the Lord says don't do those things and you're doing them, all right, the world says do those things. The Lord says don't do those things. You do those things, you're an enemy to the Lord, all right? Whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh. Once again, whosoever therefore will be a friend of the world is the enemy of Yahweh. If you're celebrating Christmas, you're an enemy of Yahweh, all right, because you're worshiping Saturn, all right? He wouldn't want you to do that. He wouldn't want you to worship Saturn, okay? He delivered you from Egypt, all right? He created everything, all right? And you're worshiping Saturn? That's a slap in the face, man. That's a slap in the face, you know? And here you are, you think you're doing it in the name of the Lord. No, you're not. He's very, very angry, all right? And a lot of you Jakes you're gonna get paid, man, you're gonna get paid back, all right? And you did all these things. And Jake, this is the reason why we're in this situation now, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, because we were going over to places and we were worshiping after their gods, worshiping a Saturn, all right, and worshiping Sol Invictus, all this bullshit, all right, and not the Lord that delivered us, okay? Deuteronomy 18:9, it says, when thou art come into the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations. All right, let's go and get it in the Bible Gateway in the Good News Translation. It says, warning against pagan practices. When you come into the land that the Lord your power is giving you, don't follow the disgusting practices of the nations that are there. There you go. Pretty plain. But you don't read the Bible, do you? You're too busy celebrating Christmas. This is 1 Kings 9:6 through 9:9. But if ye, here's for you, Jakes, right? Here's for you. This is what happened to us. But if ye shall at all turn from following me, ye or your children, and will not keep my commandments and my statutes which I have set before you, but go and serve other gods and worship them, Sol Invictus, Saturn, Odin, right? So on and so forth, and many more to name. Jesus, right? Verse 7, then will I cut off Israel out of the land which I have given them. And this house which I have hallowed for my name will I cast out of my sight. And Israel shall be a proverb and a byword among all people. And at this house which is high, everyone that passeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss, and they shall say, why hath the Lord done thus unto this land, and to this house? Why did the Lord do this to this people? Why? Verse 9, and they shall answer, because they forsook the Lord their power, who brought forth their fathers out of the land of Egypt, and have taken hold upon other gods, and have worshipped them and served them. Therefore hath the Lord brought upon them all this evil. Why, Jake? Because here you were, the Lord gave you all these things. You just had to go and worship, had to go and worship Moloch, had to go and worship Baal, had to go and worship Saturn, had to go and worship Sol Invictus, had to go and worship this, had to go and worship that. You just had to do it, Jake. You just had to do it. And now look at you. You're fucked up in Babylon with your pants hanging down, with a fucking Glock hanging out your pocket. Yo, what it is, blood? This is our culture, blood. This is our culture. No, it ain't, you dumbass. All right, and then you got, Issachar over there with their quinceañeras, celebrating birthdays and shit with music, all right, being alcoholics, not even paying attention to their kids, all right, and just blaring loud ass music, rude as fuck, all right, and this is our culture, SA. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it is fucking not. No, it's not. You got Native Americans and teepees. Today we're worshiping the sun because it gives us this light and all these different things, all right, and we're going to use peyote and converse with the sky spirits. No, that's fucking wrong. This is our culture. No, it's not. No, it's not. Okay? It's not. You are Hebrews. So-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. You are Israelites. All right, that the Bible mentions. All right, your God is Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. The Father is Yahweh. The Son is Yahweh Shai. You worship them together. All right? So, and because you can't reach the Father but through the Son. So, that's your culture. Not fucking sitting, smoking opium, and doing peyote. Not drinking cervezas and hanging out, celebrating quinceañeras. All right, not fucking going and being a thug in the goddamn ghettos. That's not your culture. All right, your culture is the Bible is your culture. The Bible is your culture. Not Christmas, not Halloween, not Thanksgiving, not 4th of July. 4th of July, what are you celebrating? Your independence from what, Jake? You're not an Edomite. Did you did you separate yourself aside from England? No. So why are you celebrating it? Don't you know when the first 4th of July was in celebration that you still were in slavery, all right, and your brothers and your sisters were getting broom rods stuck up their asses, all right, and raped, all right, and by white men? Do you not understand that? And yet you're celebrating the white man's holiday. Why? Thanksgiving. Our people, our brothers, the Native Americans, were being slaughtered. All right, and their women and same such, all right, being raped and slaughtered and murdered. All right, and if you take this lesson down because I'm telling you the truth, that's unjust. That is unjust. That is evil as hell. All right, because that's exactly what happened to the Native Americans. All right, and they don't want you to know that. All right, they don't want you to know that more Native Americans died than the people in that little event over there in Germany. Okay, that may or may not have ever happened. I'll just leave it at that. Okay, more Native Americans perished. More Native Americans perished. Okay, you can look that up. Facts. Go and look it up. They don't want you to know that. All right, you gotta suffer. Their tribulation is so bad. Oh, that the you know what it cost is the worst event that's ever happened. Native Americans perished 1,000,000 times more at the hands of white men, stabbing and gutting and skinning and using Gatling guns and raping the women to death. Okay, than ever happened with that people. All right, but they again always gotta be the victims. All right, the white man's always gotta be the fucking victim. All right, I'm the victim. I'm the victim. No, you're not. More of our people died than your people ever did. Okay, but have no fear. All right, there's gonna be a lot of you. The Lord's gonna pay you back for that. Okay, and this is the reason because you Jakes did all this shit and you're worshiping all this bullshit. All right, and you just love the white man so much. Daddy Esau this, Daddy Esau that. Let's worship Daddy Esau's Christmas. Let's worship Daddy Esau's Thanksgiving. Let's worship Daddy Esau's Valentine's Day. Let's worship Daddy Esau's Easter. Let's worship Daddy Easter's 4th of July. Let's worship this. Let's worship that. Anything you can get a celebration on. If there's a celebration where you fucking waxed your asshole, you guys would fucking take it because you got to celebrate everything. You got to celebrate everything. It's ridiculous, man. You can't just let a day be a day. You got to have a celebration for this. Talk like a pirate day, Mother's Day, Father's Day, what else? You know, all these crazy holidays that no one even thinks about. What's that? That Irish shit. St. Patrick's Day. You got to worship, all these different. You can't just let a day be a day. It always has to be a celebration to 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 a celebration. It's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. And all these have roots in paganism, and you just don't want to believe it. And this is the reason why we're in captivity now, Jake. This is the reason why we're scattered in Babylon and across all the world, and we're not dwelling in Israel right now. Because Jake didn't want to listen. They didn't want to worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Instead, they wanted to worship all these gods and do their customs and their things. They didn't want to do Passover. They didn't want to do Day of Atonement. They wanted to do birthdays. They wanted to do Christmas. That's what they wanted to do, and that's why you're in the situation you're in now. That's why you're in the situation now. And guess what, Jake? You can continue to go on and do it. Go right ahead, Jake. Go right ahead. You want to do it? Guess what? We already warned you to not do it. All right? And you're going to do it anyway. Isaiah 3:10, 3:11. For all you that keep on wanting to do it year after year after year. We ain't got too many years left. This might just be the last Christmas. Who knows? Isaiah 3:10 through 11. Lord willing. Isaiah 3:10 through 11. Say ye to the righteous that it shall be well with him, for they shall eat the fruit of their doings. You're in this truth. You're following after Yahweh Shemi Shai, making lessons, watching lessons. You're a woman and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, taking care of your husband, treating him with respect. All right, cool. That's great. You're gonna eat the fruit of your doings. Good things for the good, right? Verse 11. Woe unto the wicked! It shall be ill with him, for the reward of his hands shall be given him. All that wickedness you've been doing, all that disgusting idol worship, all right, eating unclean things, all right, and doing wicked abominations, guess what? Same, just as the good things are going to go to the good, wicked things for the wicked. All right, let's get that. What is it? We got it yesterday, I believe. According to their works. Revelation 20 and 12. Not the one I wanted. Yeah, well, we'll get this one. Romans 2 and 5. But after their hardness, and an impotent heart treasured up unto thyself wrath against the day of wrath and the revelation of the righteous judgment of Yahweh, who will render to every man according to his deeds. So if you did wicked things, guess what? It's not going to be so good for you. And guess what? The pagan roots of Christmas are undeniable. That we're going to go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth to rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing, Shalom.